and you need to confront them in person and ask them for forgiveness, because it's a prerequisite to Allah forgiving us, not just on Arafah, even before we depart on this journey. And we sketch the scene of how people will come and greet us before they leave for Hajj, and as an afterthought, just before they stand up from their sitting place, they will say, and by the way, we were for Hajj, inshallah. Forgive us if we did anything said. And we reflected on the feeling you would have when someone did that. Actually, you forgive it. But imagine how different it is if the person looked you in the eye and said, X number of years ago, we exchanged words, we had an altercation. I'm here in utmost humility, seeking your forgiveness, because my forgiveness from Allah is of 10 jokes if you don't forgive me. So not only the person to ransom, come to the gate, you don't forgive me again, but putting the ball in their court. Alright, if you haven't done this, subhanAllah, encouraging once again, there is not a process between last week and this week, it's a continuous process from now till the 7th Arafah, up to like the night before or the morning of Arafah. You remember? Hey! Abdul Rahman and I on the playground, grade 9, for argument's sake. Then you found Abdul Rahman from Azizia, from Makkah al-Mukarram, and you sort things out before you go in. Subhanallah. Communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Good. So keep that one day, note it down. Brothers and sisters, get real with yourself. This is not a feel-good Hajj class. This is a Hajj class that's meant to change the trajectory of your life and your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So take the homework seriously, inshallah. Quick recap of last week. So the entire last week's session was premised on this single slide. That we said all of Hajj offerings are based on us wanting to extract a decent level of service that has quality built in every step of it, that sees to our conveniences as those traveling on Hajj more than the conveniences of the operator who's providing the service, and we want to encompass service, quality, and convenience at a manageable cost. That cost wasn't only financial, but subhanAllah was underpinned by the idea of how we extract value. And we use these criteria to evaluate the services being provided in terms of payment options, flight flexibility, so the difference between transit time, flight time, travel time, and flight time, right? We spoke about duration of stay, how many days, and how different operators will count differently. We spoke about accommodation offerings in the Medina to Munawwara, and how you want to position yourself to be able to have as easy access as possible, convenience, to the Haram of Medina to Munawwara. We spoke about facilities for those with not special but individual needs. So I could be able-bodied, but I have certain other needs, right? And which operator can offer me that? We spoke about transport choices between Medina to Munawwara and Makkah al-Mukarramah, bus, private taxi, high-speed rail, etc., etc. And then we spoke about accommodation access in Makkah al-Mukarramah, more than accommodation comfort. We spoke about mobility options to move around in the city of Makkah al-Mukarramah. We spoke about meal plans, what's included, excluded in our Hajj or Umrah offerings, and then the comprehensiveness of the included ziyarah. Is it a tick box exercise, or am I actually going to connect with the seerah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Then we came to the higher grade ones, which were cohesion, quotient. The people who provide the service to me, how long have they worked together as a well-oiled machine? And then lastly, the experience. Sabil Mujarrab wal Haki. Ask the experience, not necessarily the wise, the experience of the ulama who will be taking me through the basis And when I say ulama, both male and female, will be taking you through the basis on the actual Hajj days, knowing that Hajj in my life, from a far perspective, is just once. So I don't want to just come back and say, I made Hajj, alhamdulillah. But I want to very confidently, as a finisher, say, I did a Hajj of ihsan. So that's our recap of last week. One of the requests that came through, mashallah, from the class was for us to reshare the itinerary over the next few weeks, not so that you can bounce certain of the sessions, just so that you know where we're going. Right? So, quick recap. We said subhanallah that our Hajj meant that we want to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we want to be confident in what we're doing, we want to have the mindset that allows us to think and activate plan A, B, C all the way till Z, irrespective of what's thrown at us, and we want to be those people who are boisterous and flamboyant at the end, and subhanAllah, optimistic and positive, and will go on encouraging others to make Hajj year after year and contribute towards making their Hajj better, arguably than ours, even though ours is going to be like awarded platinum for being the best Hajj ever, right? And in order to do that, this was our plan. That's what we covered last week, 4th of February. Today, inshallah, we talk money, we talk. Good, so we're going to speak about spending in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's way, and that's the rest of the itinerary. Brothers and sisters, I'm moving a little bit fast because I'm trying to contain not getting all the way to 1 o'clock, and inshallah, give the class an opportunity of questions, etc. So, drilling down into the nuts and bolts of today, appreciating that in our class we have those who are inshallah intending Umrah as well as those intending Hajj. Quick disclaimer. The next portion of the presentation, most likely till we take a quick body break, will be premised on how the journey of Hajj is sequenced, but the lessons within that particular journey are equally applicable to those on Umrah. I won't be able to point that out on every slide, but if you're only intending Umrah, not Hajj, then you need to look for that. How is this applicable to Umrah? At points, inshallah, if I do remember, I'll drop that in. So firstly, a few phrases, statements, captions that I've coined over a period of time surrounding Hajj and managing finances for Hajj. Budgeting is not just for Hujjaj who think they do not have enough money. So some of us are in the position of where when the first packages were released this week, we be like, Ya Allah, if only I knew we were VBSR years ago. What is the news? You know what they say, talk it out. Okay. Budgeting is for every Hajj who wants to ensure that their money is enough. If you're going with 6, not credit cards, but 6 debit cards, all platinum status, unlimited spend, you can still end up wasting all of that money. If you don't know how to manage your finances with Hajj. You're getting something from the floors, right? What about your brothers? You see prices, how much does Hajj cost? How much? 144K. Good. Anyone else? 260. What was it? About 2 people. Okay, 144 single, 130 single. Anyone else? 200 per person. Anyone else? Sisters? So we say anything between $250,000 and $500,000 for a couple of Hajj. That's what we said, right? I am asking you, whether you get a spouse or not. Whether you're sitting in your lap, sitting in subhanAllah. When you make a $250,000 or $500,000 decision in your home, You just make a decision. So subject yourself to the same criteria and decision making in terms of how you choose what you subscribe to for Hajj. You did this in last 6 class. After looking at this bullet, go back, scroll up on the book, look at the link, close the book, chat everyone out for 2 hours, go to the class. So that you have some idea around the decision making. Then you just also off your feet and then go through the decision making process that you would normally have today to talk about the quarter million or half a million slip, etc. How long was the Hajj departure? Brothers and sisters. 3 months, 4 months. You live in those steps. If you don't know exactly how many days to your estimated departure, then we really feel around how we prepare. 3 months, 4 months, 90 days, Ramadan, and it's time to be serious. It's 107 days to the packages that are already available in the market. It's 107 days to that first departure. For some of you, I'm looking at your hands. 107 days. Each day counts, and within each day, each hour counts. This is your low moment. You only live once. You only live for Hajj once. Take it serious. Please deposit 100,000 per person in order to secure your seat. No? So that they find the reward. So subhanAllah, that's just our days so that we realize these packages coming to market and 5 days is a little share for those subhanAllah from God. Nusuk Hajj will open for you for those that are not subhanAllah in Saudi Arabia. Nusuk Hajj will open for you when? Nusuk Hajj will open for you inshallah in the next few days because it's closed already for domestic workers. So just context for South Africans, those that don't care Hajj, they have to apply online via the app. Their applications will open in the next few days. They have to make payment immediately to secure their Hajj. Okay, so those are 3 questions inshallah you will keep in your mind. You will keep a practice up here. To count down the days, you can set on your phone, your screensaver, whatever works for you, subhanAllah. You appreciate the cost, you know how to evaluate the cost elements. Inshallah, if Allah allows, we can do one-on-one catch-ups, informally, whatever, to try and talk you through that when more packages are available so that you make informed decisions. But you've got the tools. You no longer should be anxious when you're studying and offering for Hajj and Umrah. You've got the tools, alhamdulillah, for last week. So now let's talk about expenditure during this 107 days before Hajj. 1,650 per person paying passport secure. Anyone not only their passport? Okay, so subhanAllah, you know that online best way to apply, preferably if you have a bank that has a home affairs window, look at that for your biometrics, saves you time, saves you money, puts you first. If not, you can do an online application, still go to your local home office and then do the biometrics and the process is taken care of. Vaccinations, you need to match to this. So other than the cost, you need to match the schedule of vaccination rollout in our country and spacing between successive doses on the one hand to the requirements of compliance for Hajj on the other hand. Noting, last year, your second shot needed to be administered 14 days before flying. This year, there's scope that your vaccination status will need to check green at the time of applying for your visa. So process that. None of us want to be applying for a visa the day before we fly. We want our documents now well in advance. Then, if you match the two, You then, subhanAllah, want to try and get your vaccinations done before Ramadan, so that your body has established its normality through Ramadan, and you're ready and healthy and you're fit as you go into our winter months to be able to travel. Good, so expenses are a little bit more comfortable. Again. Okay, so we speak about Hajj here, yes.
Are we talking COVID vaccinations or other vaccinations?
So all of it, right? So yellow fever, meningitis, COVID vaccinations, not right now, but most probably towards the back end of Ramadan, after Ramadan, you may want to consider taking the first day flu vaccine. Right, and most probably your medical aid will advise you on what's the best for this particular year. The discussions, subhanAllah, around pro and anti-vax are not liable to discuss. I'm not going to entertain those of the Hajj chat or the class chat. If anyone feels differently in this class chat, I'm going to say it from here. I will exit from the class. When we have those discussions, to take them to the scholars you're comfortable with, subhanAllah, I'm speaking about being ready for Hajj from a Muslim who's supposed to be upright, who's supposed to abide by rules and regulations. What you do and how you choose to do it, that is between you and your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not advocating for or against, I'm simply laying down to you and preparing you for what the regulations are. So the first thing subhanAllah we speak about in terms of year is footwear. Now, why is footwear important? I reworded a beautiful hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that we always take inspiration from Khaliluna Mustafa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I kind of made it more Hajj related. So I took out aspects of how Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned these words, and then tried to superimpose it on the journey that we have today. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches us with regards to bounties that we squander. نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس الصحة والفقر. Two bounties most humans squander: sound health and available time. Two bounties most Hujjaj squander on Hajj: your feet. This is arguably your most important asset on Hajj. What? Yes, pedicure, your feet is your most important asset on Hajj. Why? Because this is the question you continuously ask to go here. Are we there? Okay. May not be the most clear to you. This is Hajj 2019. Spot on, 4 weeks stretch. 15 July to 15 August. Can you see the distance? That's the Hajj days. Naturally, I walk a lot more than every Hajj, right? So we compensate for that as well. But can you see subhanAllah the mileage? And you argue that some of this must be walking to the haram, others must be walking inside the haram, because the haram is a huge facility, or that. Okay, fine, no problem. But do you see the type of mileage you're doing as an average? From day one, being day of departure, I have tried to put it into balance, but not that much. So that's actually the reason why we encourage you subhanAllah to join the walking program. Good. Let's go to the Hajj. Heat, no brick and mortar structures, big portions of it in the haram. Water is not, as they would say, on tap, like you reach and the water is there. You have to get the water with you. Okay? You don't have free choice in terms of what you're going to eat on the days of Hajj. And you need to be on the move. What's going to carry you everywhere you need to go? Your feet. And those feet need to be where? Let's open this slide quickly. Those feet need to be in a pair of shoes. So when you're watching the chats and the WhatsApp groups posting pictures of shoes, this distributor has this footwear, that distributor has that footwear, etc., etc. Is this one haram compliant? I am asking the right questions. Because the shoes are haram compliant, but who tested it over this distance? To see whether it's going to give you blisters, to see whether subhanAllah is going to cause your feet to become smelly, to see whether it's going to cause your feet to your skin to become supple and start tearing, to see whether the material used in the footwear is going to cause your feet to become dry and start cracking up. There's which portions when you're walking bare feet or without the footwear as well in the first slide. So it's not only about how the shoe looks and whether it meets the Shari'i requirements. You are a people of sophistication. You, subhanAllah, are not going to be on an aeroplane for the first time in your life. You are not a people who hasn't seen an escalator and an elevator. Okay? And because we are not the people who haven't seen an escalator and an elevator, we also may be a little bit softer and weaker and a little bit more subtle. So we have to take into account that we're not as strong and firm and robust as other of our brothers and sisters in the Ummah of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And all of that factors into the gear that we actually use on Hajj. Ya Allah. Okay, so subhanAllah, let's speak about the men first. Sisters, it's very easy. Take shoes that are comfortable, that are well aerated, okay, and that subhanAllah fit you in the sense of you can wear these socks with it and you can wear thin socks at the same time. Good, so whatever brand. You like Birkies? Buy Birkies socks. You like Skechers? Buy Skechers. But don't buy because I mentioned the brand. Buy based on your experience of what footwear you use in your life. So essentially you need a pair that you can use only for the long hauls, like when you're walking good distances, and you need a pair that you can use runners at one time for the wets, like to go and take water to go to the bathroom, etc. That's 2 pairs of footwear. Runners make it easier for you. There's subhanAllah, footwear available that allows you to only have one pair. Because generally sisters have more shoes than brothers, right? It's a little bit different in my house. Allah forgive me. But subhanAllah. So brothers also follow the Hanafi madhab. The hadith speaks about that which needs to be exposed or that which protrudes. I'm simplifying the fiqh discussion, etc. And it's premised on what the understanding of fuqaha across the different madhab is around what protrudes and what needs to be exposed. Naturally, the slide says Hanafi. We'll come to the slide to see in the South African audience, Shawafi, but equally applicable to the Malikiya and the Hanafi. So in the Hanafi madhab, this is the bone, according to the latest research, alhamdulillah, one of our African disease that needs to be exposed. It is referred to as the navicular. So in order for that bone to be exposed, there is a range of one of the brothers generally said that there are processes or processes. Because there is 2 areas in class, the brothers can come and have a different footwear that's going to be exhibited on the slide, inshallah. First one, we spoke about the skin being supple. So these are after-served beach clothes. They are not regular beach clothes that you are wearing. Okay? These have fat lining on the actual tongue on the inside. If I check it out, you ain't seen anything like this yet. So at least you know I'm able to walk there and go to the beach. Right? That particular pair has made 4 or 5 Hajj cylinders recently. not all of us are able to wear beach clothes. One of my preferences is definitely beach clothes is closest to the footwear that was worn in the time of Habibullah Muhammad Rasulullah. The only difference being that the top for them would be after the second toe. So if you go the second toe, that's where the top would be. In our day and age, the top is normally after just the big toe. Good. Second one. Most for brothers who have generally narrow feet, I haven't seen them commercially available in the market recently. The brand is Fargo Ihram shoes. There's a finger in front, you can check it out. Right? When I wear this, this is tell me why you wear these fast. Oh, yes, Ihram compliant because the fibula is open. Third one. This is the actual brand. This is the company that pioneered this technology in sports wear. I want to find this now. If I've told you everything that I've told you about how to choose footwear, can I take a picture of this, send it to some friend, business associate in China, tell them, replicate this and send it back to me, and then ready to be compliant to meet all the dynamics that spoke about in the previous slides? Do you think when you pay $1,000 for a pair of sneakers, there's no technology that goes into it? So let's talk brands, alright? What's the difference between an Adidas Puma and Adidas NMD and Adidas Boost and Adidas Ultra? Do you know what Adidas is from? So, softness, comfort, prominent, super and fit, all of it. Okay, similarly, subhanAllah, you have to talk to Puma as an example. What's the difference between my Puma Evo-ness and my Puma Green Double, the one with the inside? It's a huge difference. Okay? So, you find copies of some of these footwear in the marketplace, haram compliant from the Shafi'i perspective. Anyone stress tested them? I don't think so. You will look at this when your most valuable asset are your feet, because your feet allow you to be, or poise you in position you to be, where you need to be, irrespective of what road closures they are, what the climatic environmental conditions are. If your feet are healthy and strong, you can get it. Now let us brothers to just ihram compliant, move these souls to sign off. Okay, fine. So please, the same plate in the picture is here. That line you saw on those graphs, one Hajj, 3 Umrah, 3 Umrah meaning come and play, go from come back, come and play, go from come back. Right? 2 level flights and a few hundreds of kilometers in the same way. As torn and tattered and broken as it is, it's here you can have a look at it in the way. Made of fully biodegradable materials. You bury it in the ground and leave it after 10 years, 100 years, it's not going to be made. You leave a zero negative imprint on the environment. As Allah's high-skilled conduct. As you just for those who follow the hand to strictly comply and stay into account. Wet, dry, the feet swelling, when you're on the plane, the feet swelling, when you're on the long trips between the Medina to Munawwar and the Mukarramah, that you may have to walk in the wet, that you may have to walk in the crowds. So that one doesn't always escalate what feet is. One doesn't escalate to be very close to their back. Because none of you will do the same. I thought her shoes are starting in front of your nose. You wouldn't take that to be something very precious. But we express this. I've been wearing my shoes since 7:20 at the latest this morning. When we finish the class, I give to my brother and they smell it and tell you whether there's any stage. Made from natural fabrics, when you take it out after wearing it for a full 8-9 hours, it smells like bubble, milkshake, candy floss. And the same way as in fact of you that's been buying from Hajj 2019 still smells like bubble. So it's something comes to your answer. Okay, let's go to Subhanallah, those who follow the Shafi'i. hey, you don't have all this hardcore things about this funny bone where your foot meets your, where your leg meets your foot somewhere in the ankle region, you need to be exposed. Alhamdulillah. Imam Shafi rahimahullah in terms of his understanding of Allah, subhanAllah, and pondering and reflecting on the hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said that which produces is the toes. So make sure that the toes are open. So your general, normal, hiking sandals will work for brothers who follow the Shafi method. But we still have to stay with people. So the trick with the hiking sandals is normally that they have a velcro strap around the ankle, right? So every time you take the footwear on and off, then you must re-strap it. And then you start walking in the ground, and then there's this nagging feet that you can't walk. But if I bring down muscle, I literally walk away. So never mind, I'll just keep walking till I get to wherever. As opposed to the same hiking sandal, but the two is killer. So you set the velcro once, and then subhanAllah, when you're entering or leaving or exiting or removing or wearing your shoes at any point, you simply either flip it in or flip it out. And the one sample that I have stress tested by mashallah that you've been allowed to eat, it also has another one in each of the one that has a prop. It also has a little bit of added toe protection for the big toe. You know how this is a little big toe, right? So subhanAllah, let's just check it out. Gonna move quickly, inshallah. So we finish. Some of these last of vaccinations footwear. Let's talk about travel luggage. I don't know what these Italian brands use. That's something. I don't even remember. No, Celine is cheaper. These systems here, mashallah, I know has they don't use Celine. CL, DNC, DNG. This is what I'm talking about, right? Like if it doesn't have that logo, you ain't traveling. Okay. Now let's explain to you why and how you think about choosing travel luggage more particularly for Hajj. Tired of Rahman, stuff he says, who knows if it's really true? Let's say if you go to China Mall and buy a set of luggage, that will, inshallah, because I'm going for Hajj in class, that will ask you to know, my recommendation is that you buy hard plastic cases because you've seen what happens with the sardines, right? Not a good thing. Okay, and there's also another lesson based on the fact that we just had visuals. When you choose and wrap your luggage, how is it protected? If the guy is telling you like that, the shrink wrapping of the luggage is not to protect your bag. It's to save your bag from being perfect. Understand? Underwear bag must be wrapped. Yes, I agree. I mean, I studied material science. It will somehow cushion a little bit for impact, etc. But doesn't do anything to really protect your bag. Maybe the stuffs and the marks, if you're using the luggage, I can't remember all those brains now. Yeah, maybe I'll say it, right? Because some of you will think like I'm outing you in the class, even though I'm using the brain that you're actually using. Like, you know, the ones with the, it's normally dark brown, with a little bit of gold, insignia, etc., etc. All those brains. Inshallah, someone will remind me in the break. Right, so it's only going to protect the bag from the scuffs and the scratches. It's not really going to protect the bag or the contents. So the way we work around the subhanAllah is we consider if we are buying luggage for Hajj. You already have luggage, alhamdulillah, use what you have. Try based on what you learn to work around that. You know, as we would say, make a plan, mark a plan, right? I recommend that you consider these hard plastic pieces. But now when I say hard plastic pieces, you've got to think about how it's going to be thrown. So the hard plastic piece that you buy at China Mall, there's lots of Chinese Muslims, I love them, they make the fatwas, right? They physically the ones who produce the fatwas, nothing against the Chinese. The hard plastic cases that you buy in China Mall will crack on single impact. So these are hard, but they are kind of soft at the same time. This particular set has made Hajj 4 if not 5 times already, with countless other trips up and down, intercontinental, etc., etc. Right? So we have it, subhanAllah, available here for you to have a look. You may not find the same brand in the marketplace. The only thing that's happened is this takes a lot of stuffs, and there's those south luggage stickers that just don't want to come off. So we actually should commend the quality of the glue on the stickers is like really good, right? It's even been freighted once, so by air freight, so it's got some markings and numbers, weight number, all of that. They all one with the text on it, but it's done numerous steps. Now, how do you mitigate for what you saw in the video? Number one, and keep in account what the Ministry of Hajj has put as a recommendation. What's the recommendation? That you travel with one check-in luggage and one carry-on luggage. You mitigate for what you saw in that video because you're traveling from here to destination Saudi Arabia, not to Medina or Jeddah. You mitigate for that subhanAllah by packing a bag in a bag. So there's actually 3 bags here. The medium one is packed in the large one. And the contents that are required to go for Hajj, that's already in my bag, are inside the medium bag, and the whole medium bag is packed in the large bag. So when I come there, they don't look at me and say, these South African Muslims, you told them to come with one checking piece. Yeah, here's your one checking piece. But then the part of Medina to Munawwar and Tipato, they want to come to the airport with 2 bags, right? The medium one and the large one. And maybe all the freight that I sent on the side as well. Good, so the luggage is here, props are here, brothers and sisters, you can have a look at it. Inshallah, next week, we will show you and exhibit a fully packed male set available today, but the fully packed male set and fully packed female set, cross-packed, that means we speak about cross-packing, so you know how to prepare yourself. You can start buying accordingly, etc. Actually, you're going to do it injustice by not opening the bag, literally feeling each piece of my clothing. Maybe we get to that in time out. Good. So, other things you need to purchase. Footwear, travel luggage, ihram. Ihram, males and females. For males, if you're going to Medina Munawwar first, I can safely say different to last year. Ihram is available in Medina Munawwar. Last year, on the back of COVID, businesses were still opening, etc. Alhamdulillah, things are finding some sense of normality. The widest range of ihram available will be in Medina Munawwar. Muhammad also encouraged us to trade and transact with the traders of Medina Munawwar. So in our spin, let's try and encapsulate as much sunnah of Muhammad as possible. You can write down the words Egyptian cotton. Sisters, I know a little bit about Egyptian, right? So Egyptian cotton ihrams, subhanAllah, excellent, well aerated, keep you warm when it's a little bit chilly, and keep you cool when it's extremely hot. They will fit the average percentile of the South African Muslim lady. Right? The polyester ones, check the class, only me and uncle in the class, only 2 of us will fit into the polyester 35 reality ihrams. The rest of you, something that's not supposed to be exposed will be exposed because those polyester harms are relatively small. They make like our Indonesian brothers and sisters. Good. Sisters, in terms of ihram, the same thinking that I took you through when it comes to footwear, you should subject your filtering of every advert by every vendor telling you, you need to buy this to make Hajj and Umrah. Is it fit for purpose? Is it durable? Can I expect value out of it? Will I be able to reuse it post that Hajj and Umrah? Or is it just going to become another garment, subhanAllah, day in night? Or Allah take us to Hajj and Umrah many times over. So when I say it's just going to sit there, it's going to sit there till the next term. But I mean, if you can have something that you don't only have to keep exclusively for the church, you can wear when you're at home as well. Alhamdulillah, excellent. You'll see some of that featured in next week's packed ladies' bag. I'm going to make sure that I check their bag before they exhibit it to the class, because even our sisters have been attached, they have a tendency to overpack. Good. Extra weight charging cable. So get this, not a China mall quality one, okay? One that's durable. 3 meters would do. Why? The plug points are not at the ideal locations in your room, in your hotels in Medina to Munawwara and not always. So you don't want to every time you want to see a WhatsApp, update from Abdul Rahman on the Hajj WhatsApp chat to say you should be doing this now, and your phone beeps and it's like they're on the other end of the room, you don't understand. So you have a 3 meter charging cable. It kind of should get you from where the plug point is till your head side of the bed. It also has other uses on the days of Hajj, you can see such as the pictures, but like I can always say, trust me on this one, right? You're going to do instead, you're going to pack this in your carry-on luggage, because you're going to charge your device in full when you're traveling to Saudi Arabia. So that when you touch down, you have a fully charged device that can last you a few hours till you eventually check into your hotel. And then snacks and munchies. Right, let's talk about this. Please do not go and buy out your local hypermarkets. The people in Makkah al-Mukarramah and Medina al-Munawwarah are not starving. Okay, you're not going to the belt in the Sahara that's a known drought region for the last decade. Think about your consumption at home and just leave it at 10% extra. As opposed to we need a 24 blister pack of this snack. And then, you know how I know who's overpacked in Hajj? When we come to the last 2 weeks and people start offering me South African sweets and chocolates, it's not because they take a lot of me, it's because they're trying to get rid of excess weight. Sweets, chocolates, chips, whatever, subhanAllah. And also be adventurous, brothers and sisters. We're speaking about budgeting. So budget constraints, appreciating, as you will see just now, that things are relatively expensive in Saudi Arabia, subhanAllah. But they be adventurous, try other brands, other products, other parts of the world, Pakistan, Malaysia, they're available. I'm talking about Muslim majority, Turkey, right? Muslim majority countries that produce fast-moving consumable goods, snacks, confectionery, etc. So you get a feel and taste, and you'll be so grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I eat lemons, but I mean bitter chocolate clearly right something. Same with Cadbury's. Cadbury's in SA, Cadbury's in Australia, they're not the same. So we have good quality milk, good quality sugar, good quality cocoa, which means we get good quality chocolate. So there are certain things that you may not buy from them because you wouldn't be able to find the equivalent in Saudi Arabia. You need to budget for Hajj meetups. Petrol is not free, right? So, in terms of the actual cost of your Hajj, you come into class every weekend. You're going to be attending, inshallah, other classes, presented by other presenters, facilitators, ulama, shuyukh, guides, right? So, budget for that. The travel expenses for greedy. Homework piece number 1, forgiveness. That's going to require some spending. And then, Like most people before you go, the last lunch and the last supper and the last Sunday, maybe you're going to throw barbecue or whatever else, so you need to budget for that. This one in this day and age, yes, it would be nice if you personalize, but I mean, otherwise you could just go e-version, right? Save on the cost. I didn't forget this. Like, you just recycle clean and clean slides. There is a likelihood based on the anecdotal reports that we receive from Saudi Arabia at the moment that the regulations could become a little bit more stringent. So, heads up. It's there, right? May happen, may not happen. Cool. So, subhanAllah, the Tima indicated to me that we at the time we should be taking a break. Plus, with no compulsion or obligation before, right? This is literally us. I know I'm standing up here, but it generally is normally very informal and down. And I will do all of that with you just because of the dynamics in the microphone, etc. I have to be positioned there. Is there anyone that needs to leave today at 12 on the dot? One more. And you're comfortable to stream while you're traveling today when you're traveling? Happiness. Good. So if everyone else is comfortable to allow us a little bit extra time, I'm going to push on for a few more minutes before we take over. So inshallah, give me a raise up at 11:50. Good. So brothers and sisters, this essentially are some of the budget items on what? On the pre-Hajj expenditure. Now, let's talk about going on the other side and how things are going to play out. What's the current exchange rate? 4.65 is it million, right? So 4.7. So we're premising this on 4.7. 4.7. 1 riyal costs 4.7 rands. In fact, in the marketplace, if you change your rands, 1 riyal in Saudi Arabia, so exchange at the money exchanger, 2,000 rands, 10 plus greenish notes. What's the exchange rate between you? 5.2 or 5.5. So there's a note, there's a subliminal message here. Good, don't change rands in Saudi Arabia in the current climate. 10 years ago it was different. Inshallah, 10 years from now will be much better. Hope is eternal. Okay, so with this as the exchange rate, anyone hungry? No, okay, so I won't use the example. Some food for now. You said anything from 130 per person to 250 odd per person. Can go up, can maybe come down, but with some challenge, right? You're not only investing in the 6 weeks or 5 weeks of your life, you're investing in your life. You need to balance that investment with pragmatism, with available leave, with responsibilities at home, and many other dynamics of your home in terms of children, etc. etc. With that, I'll share this piece of advice. A young child doesn't know in their minds, in terms of their cognitive development, intricately what's the difference between 5 weeks and 4 weeks. So if you're telling yourself as a mother and father, I'm going to go shorter because my kids will miss me less, you will miss them less if you go for shorter. It's the same for them. So put the foot on your nose in this current climate when the costs are jumping and the currency is falling. And my recommendations to how to each and every one of us would be go for the maximum time you can. The dynamics and challenges of getting to how traveling will be able to extract value. Value, not in brains and cents terms, not in money terms. Subhanallah, the challenge mounts day on day on day. So if you can, go for the maximum. Because my brother, my neighbor, my cousin, the other guys spoke to in the masjid, everyone attending Hajj classes in this very plush venue, mashallah, is going for a certain package. No obligation on me to do the same. Do subhanAllah was prudent and sensible for me, based on their own dynamics. Feel free to consult. I'm here, subhanAllah, and the team are here as your Hajj coaches to share with you the experience that we can. Then, you have to eat, to live, to make ibadah. Eating is a necessity, but eating intelligently is a art. We spoke about the person who could drop $1 million in terms of the package cost and the out-of-pocket cost and still waste a lot. And we can also speak about the person who maybe at 135 could complete both the package cost and the out-of-pocket expense and really make a solid Hajj. So that's part of subhanAllah what we teach. Now how do we evaluate this? They told us what? That the exchange rate is 4.7 rands to 1 Saudi riyal. Is that a fair way of being able to evaluate what the cost of things are? No, not really. So mashallah, there's some very smart professionals in the room, both brothers and sisters, some who I know from our broader community, and others who are streaming online as well. This is second nature to you, but I'm just reminding you, because part of saying how we deal with everything in our Islam, we deal with it in compartments, right? So you somehow, when you walk into this venue, I hope not, maybe, I'm just reminding you, you shouldn't, don't leave all of your learnings of life outside and come here. You know, you leave all your life experience at the door and you come here because now this is an Islamic thing. Bring all of that here with you. Bring your full game, subhanAllah. And this is part of what you know from your full game. The Big Mac Index. No, how many people know what a Big Mac Index? Brothers and sisters? MashaAllah. Good. So, cost of a Big Mac in South Africa. I didn't say which halal certifying authority is certifying, not certifying. I'm just using this as an example to drive home a point. What's the cost of a Big Mac? The one who knows, we know you eat, right? September 16th, I think. I'm based on the research I did. The research I did was walking to my local McDonald's. It was one night, right? 33 rand 90. So 34 rand. Just a burger. Not a meal, just a burger. No fries, no upsides, no zero sugar drink, just a burger, 34 rand. Cool. Let's go to Saudi Arabia. There's now pop-up McDonald's everywhere close to the haram. Front of Mr. Nabawi sallallahu alaihi, back of Mr. Nabawi sallallahu alaihi, in the shopping malls in Makkah and Mukarramah as well. Big Mac Index. How much does a Big Mac cost? 14 riyals. Translates to 70 rand. That's a single burger without fries and soda fill you up. Factor in the heat. So you need to eat more, right? To still feel full and have energy, etc. Okay, everywhere in Saudi Arabia now, brothers and sisters, they have to put a calorie count. I hope you're laughing in your ears as loud as I am. Tells you about the society, right? I told you last week, Saudi Arabia equals the USA, those empires. You see the societal problems that they have. Okay, so we'll speak about the calorie count just now. Anyway, just to drive home the point. So you're talking on average, things are Big Mac Index, we use to try and gauge living day-to-day costs. Things are, on average, as a thumbs up rule, twice what you will pay for every visit. We must consult our means rather than our wishes in terms of how we make choices. Because the people staying in the room next to me, who are also seated on the flight next to me, who subhanAllah sat in the Hajj class next to me, are eating at a particular outlet every day, should I feel obligated? Not at all. Be your own person. Don't follow the crowd. Okay? Independently, think, process, based on what Allah has given you as resources. The verses of Quran that I shared at the beginning of today's class also speak about not spending only on the individual, but spending on others. If Allah gave you and you drop in quarter bar per person for your Hajj package, hey, there's another 2,498 people who are on Hajj with you from your own country, other than Subhanallah, the 2.5 other million, who you can help along the way. Good? And seize those opportunities. We may do this and then stay down before 11:15, and then shall pick up after the big body. Right, so longest package available currently says 6 weeks. We're going to evaluate on a 6-week package how many weeks will I be away for. Is that confusing? Because the 6 weeks package is how long? No, it's not 6 weeks. Sorry? It depends. Ooh, okay, so we're going to explore that. We discussed about this last week, right? And a 6 weeks package is not 42 days, always. If it's less, from a budget perspective, 100. But if it's more and it doesn't accommodate, problems. Okay, so keep that in mind. Are all leaves on Hajj the same? Similarly, are all leaves on Umrah the same? Ramadan Umrah. Umrah now in Sha'ban, Umrah in Shawwal, Umrah in September, once Umrah opens up in Muharram post-Hajj. No, all weeks are not the same. So that's part of inshallah what we're going to explore when we complete this slide and after we take our big holiday. We're going to look at which are the easiest and most difficult periods on our pockets, so that we don't do what historically our forefathers have done. Not that our forefathers were doing the travel on the journeys of Hajj and Umrah. I'm talking from Subhanallah, the 1950s, all up until fairly recently. So if we had an elderly person in our family who was traveling, someone who had difficulty filling out forms and understanding subjects, even before the digital age, what would we do? As those who were concerned for the welfare of our family members, our kids and kin, people in our community who we love, we would say, okay uncle, okay aunt, okay mom, okay dad, okay grandpa, what I'm going to do is, this is the money that we have for you for Hajj. I'm going to take 6 envelopes and I'm going to divide the money, and this is the money for week 1 and the money for week 2 and the money for week 3. Right? That's what we did that to make it easier for us. So you know, in this week, if I only scale this and I don't dig into the others, I'll make it to the end of the Hajj. That understanding and approach doesn't work any longer. And that's inshallah what we want to unpack after our break. Time now, 11:10. I should congratulate myself. Please pardon me for the play. So inshallah, can we take a 5-minute break? Be back in your seats at 11:15. Brothers and sisters who are at home, say 1 or 2, whatever you want to do. Fresh cup of coffee, I don't know, or breakfast, like a full breakfast, while you sleep, and inshallah we'll resume at 11:15. Brothers can come and